Hello and welcome to Shelf Number 2, Tier 2. And as you can see, we're basically full-blown Star Trek. There are a few little bits and pieces that, because the shelf is at eye level, I kind of put on there just so I can see them as I walk by. So I do look at all of these things. They don't just sit there. It's an art that I call feng shui. Anyway, let's get started. So let's start with the non-Star Trek items. We'll kind of get those out of the way since there aren't too many of them. For some reason, I haven't put this up yet. This is my signed picture from Peter Weller. I got this when I was down in Florida. It was an Orlando Comic Con. Don't quite remember the name of it. I will say I was not really impressed by it. It was large, but it was so full of people, and it was so uncomfortable, and it was just not fun. I'm sure a lot of people do have fun, and that's great, but for me personally, I did not have a good time. But I did get to meet Peter Weller for a very short minute. I was hoping he had pictures of him at least sitting in the captain's chair of the USS Vengeance, which was part of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe in Star Trek Into Darkness. And just to say it, my least favorite of the three J.J. Abrams. Probably my least favorite Star Trek movie, period. But I love Peter Weller, RoboCop, Buckaroo Banzai, and he does some wonderful voice work. He voiced Batman in the DC animated movie The Dark Knight. But yeah, Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension. It's a really good, rad, cocaine-fueled movie. If you've never seen it, you really should. Next up, limited edition in the scope that they had a ton of them, but this is from the Hard Rock Cafe. We bought this when we were in the Hard Rock in Florida. Limited edition, yada, yada, yada. I liked it because it looked like the WCW World Title belt. Yeah, it's just a fun little badge. It caught my eye. I thought it was pretty cool. I bought this and one that was like a pink and green cassette. But they're pin badges. So believe it or not, the last of these is my old Community 21 Pyramid Award. Community 21, for those who don't know, was a channel on cable here in Columbus. It was a local channel. It was cable access, basically, meaning you bought airtime and they were more or less obligated to air your show. We can get into the details of some of this, the stuff that got aired after 9 p.m. But until then, this is the award that I got in 1998 when I was in college. Jeremy Osborne and myself, we were part of the Skyline Columbus crew. I worked camera. He was a producer and host. And the show that we did was actually a show of a dirt track racer in Zanesville who showed us his entire garage, all of his trophies, all of the big checks that he gets at the end of each race. It was actually a really fascinating shoot at the time. I mean, it was the first time I'd actually gone on location to shoot something, and we filmed so much information. We had 2 cameras set up, and because we did this, Jeremy and I both won a Pyramid Award for our work in Skyline Columbus. Now, I want to get to this really fun, very not Star Trek thing that is Star Trek, because it says so right there. A friend of mine who's from Russia, her family is still in Russia. She and another good friend of mine went back home and to visit her family. She brought this back for me. They brought this back for me, and I was so pleased and touched in that they were thinking of me while they were on this trip. This was several years ago. I think it was even way pre-COVID. But it's just the funniest fun thing because it's a nesting doll. I mean, and this is all hand painted. All of this hand painted, hand formed, rough hewn, that kind of thing. But it's a nesting doll. So here's Jean-Luc Picard. You take off Jean-Luc. Hey, look, it's Riker. That's a better likeness than that damn plate that I had yesterday. And then we take, but he's, you can see where the Pips. See, he's got 3. so Pip's a little off, but that's okay. We forgive that. So here's Riker, and then you open it up again, and it's very squeaky. And this is a Klingon. I don't know where from. The dead eyes tell me that this is actually a Klingon that was buried a long time ago. But then we go a little deeper. And this is cool because here's Q in his judge's uniform, his judge's outfit. And look at that. What a great likeness of John DeLance. And look, see, it's all still rough wood on the bottom, but this is all smoothed out and hand painted. And there's one more in here. And it is the little badge. Isn't that just wonderful? The little badge is maybe like printed on. I mean, they're not stickers unless they were stuck on and then the shellac was applied. But yeah, look at that. Isn't that amazing? And then here's the inside of Picard. Somebody turned this and then just put all those nesting dolls in there. Isn't that wonderful? What a wonderful thing. Yeah, and then, you just stack them back together. I mean, it completely and totally not licensed, duh. But, I mean, it is just a charming, wonderful thing that you would never get here. And I just adore it. Look at that, Star Trek, and that little star. It's just fantastic. And, the fact that they went back and they got this and was thinking of me and bought this for me. It's just wonderful. We have another signature, and it's Robert Picardo. Bob Picardo. I met him at a convention. I can't remember if this was the Kentucky convention or if this was the one in Detroit, Lodi. I don't quite remember. But it is a Playmates medical tricorder. The batteries do work. I don't have batteries in it right now. It mainly just sits like this on the shelf with Robert Picardo's signature on it. I knew he was going to be there, so I just brought this Playmates medical tricorder. And the Playmates medical tricorders are actually really nice. We have another one sitting over here that's just a regular Starfleet tricorder rather than a medical one. But yeah, I love these tricorders. It does make sounds. How hard does it get the battery compartment off? Come down, comes down. 2 AA batteries. Well, I guess since we're talking about it, we can just do this one. I have not put the stickers on it. I had fully planned. I bought a kit that will allow you to take out all of these pieces and actually turn it into a tricorder that makes noise, that has LED lights, that is more authentic, I guess is the word. Let's see. What do we have here? These contacts seem really good. Let's see. How do we put it in? Okay. This side. Don't lose the battery. And this side. And, ooh, we got lights. Got sound. Okay. Now, there we go. Ooh, pretty. But yeah, I did not put the stickers on this one yet because I'm still waiting for a time when I can take this apart and install those lights. Maybe I'll get that chance now. Let's bring back the medical tricorder real quick. We'll see if this works. Now I gotta remember how these slide in. That's a back out. And that's a front out. And let's see if these work. So what weird those other ones didn't work. Open. Says me and yay! Probably the same sounds. Yeah. Oh. Nice. That's a different bio geo. So it's got a different sound here because it's a medical tricorder. And then you just pull out the diode here, the scanner. Yeah. Well, that works. Well, that's wonderful. I keep putting that back in backwards. There we go. But that works. That's wonderful. Now here's a fun little thing. This is a cricket phaser. It is the most accurate cricket phaser I have seen, and I do not even remember who manufactured this. There's no indication. It would have been on the box, which I no longer have. But it's representative of the little cricket phaser, and like I said, this is about the size of the cricket phasers as they were on TNG. So you just push the button, and it's a little LED light, and you can either have just the LED light, or just the sound, or both. But yeah, it's a keychain, but you can just remove the keychain there, and it would just make a wonderful looking prop for a Type 2 phaser. So we'll get these out of the way really quick. They're basically sitting there because they're right next to my Monster Maroon uniform. Here's the captain's bars that go on the shoulder strap, should I want to become a captain rather than an admiral. And then here are extra little buttons that go on the collar, or I guess it's this, or is it this one? I don't know. One of the collars, one of the sleeve pins to add more rank and more distinction. I'm pretty sure this was a captain's set at one time, but somehow my dear friend lost one of them. But these are little pips that go on the collar. I will demonstrate with who I'm going to show next. Here's old Ebenezer Scrooge himself. But those are the pips that go on the collar. So now, since we're talking about him, welcome to my least favorite Picard. And I have many. I have many Picards. I probably have too many Picards. But this is the McFarland, and he's not great. That face. Let's start with the face. Look at this. Look at that. Look at those sunken eyes. The head is so thin. The nose is so long. I mean, for comparison. I mean, the guy painted this and made it look more like Picard than this guy. And this has got a dead Klingon in it. I mean, come on, look at this. I mean, and the articulation is okay. His head kind of moves. His arms move in a couple of different patterns. His wrists move. And pretty tight articulation. Ooh. Yep, there goes a hand. The hands are made to come off and be replaced with other hands. But yeah, this is just undesirable. And then the most fun articulation of them all. Why do I need that? Why? Why do we need that? I mean, they do move out like this, and the knees do bend like that, and then they twist like this. It is just, it's not the greatest figure to hold, but I mean, this just kills it for me. It's like, all right, let's move on from pain and talk about something that sparks joy. Look at this guy. This is a better representation than that thing. Yeah, this is Galoob. In 1988, Galoob basically took a stab at the characters that aired in the first season. Not just, like a couple of seasons. They fired right out of the gate with these in 1988. So I have this collection. It's above my desk. When we move on to the other category of wiping down shelves, I'll do a video on those. But this is Captain Picard. He had a phaser that was basically, it's a Dustbuster phaser that was basically just welded to his hand as part of the mold for the most part. You can kind of see a little bit there. Camera doesn't get that. There we go. It's actually a better angle. Wonderful articulation, basic, but fit very well. No, barely any, I mean, the shoulders move, but there's no elbow movement. Head kind of tilts, but does not move very much. Yeah, they did the entire first season's bridge crew, plus an evil Ferengi leader, which I don't have the Ferengi leader. But yeah, so this is Jean-Luc Picard from season 1 of The Next Generation. Okay, I'm going to get into these Inner Space Next Generation from Playmates. These were always fun to me, but I never collected them, and I should have tried. They were not very expensive. But these are little play sets that are basically transformed. So you get the tricorder here, and then it becomes a medical bay, and you get Locutus and Geordi LaForge and Dr. Beverly Crusher. And they're analyzing Locutus, trying to figure out how they can change Picard back. And it's not an accurate representation of the stasis field that they put him in. He's not shirtless. So there's a lot of different little things about this scene. But, for a toy for kids, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, not only do you get a nice little tricorder, but it transforms into a wonderful playset. And here it is. And you can do little things. There's a little bio chamber that you can put him in that's right here. There's the scanning bed, cryo chamber, medical supply units, and then there's Geordi and Dr. Crusher. And then there were several of these. I actually will show you this one next. And then there were ones that were ships. Gives you a little blurb about the what happened when the Borg kidnapped Picard and created Locutus. It's just a fun little thing. And then they even show you here, you can put it on your belt, and it's like a medical tricorder. And then, surprise, it's not. And now here is the mini phaser playset. As you can see, it's a Type 2 phaser. It is not battery operated. It is basically just a static. You could probably push the buttons, but it is basically just a static little prop. And then it opens up to reveal an alien planet environment. Now this one bothers me just a little bit because you get Worf and you get Q and you get Lieutenant Commander Data, but for some reason Jordy is showing up and ruining the party. He's not in this set. But as you can see, phaser clips to belt or waistband. But yeah, swivel security officer's chair flip open for a secret entrance to a rebel cave. I'm not familiar with Q having anything to do with any kind of rebel caves or sentry platforms or trapdoors or advanced technology hidden holding chamber. Oh, wow. They were really going for it here. Capture of Rebel HQ on Capella 5. That might be a show, but I don't remember interference from Q in any kind of an away mission like that. I guess it's possible. You can activate a trapdoor to catch Lieutenant Commander Data off guard. You can fold down a sentry platform for a view of the entire Rebel operation, which is a commanding chair office. Note the office suite. But yeah, I just thought that this was darling, and maybe someday if the box gets a little worse. Oh, it has been opened. So what I've just done is I've taken it out of the box. So it just looks like the tape may have worn away because all of this is still here. The buttons don't actually move. But look at that. It looks like a really great Type 2 phaser. And then there's... I don't know about their eyes. Okay, so I know we've been staring at this for a little bit, and I didn't bring it up because I'm a little embarrassed by it. Not that it exists, but because it's a puzzle box, and I have no idea how to get it to work. Actually, I think at one point I may have... Oh, no, wait, it's still going. Yeah, I have not figured out how to get this to... It is not well made. It is... I guess there's only one way to move the parts, maybe? I don't know. It is an interesting little thing that is very fiddly and not at all pleasant to mess with. This might have come with something that I had ordered on eBay, and because it's cursed and they didn't want it, they shifted it off onto somebody else, and that somebody else happened to be me. So I have 3 of these badges. We need these stinking badges. It's very strange, this whole package, because the way it's presented, look at this. It looks like these were printed out and stuck in the blister packaging, but it is a real thing. Yeah, trademark Paramount Pictures, all rights reserved. But yeah, so there are additional badges. I don't have the Bajorn one. I have never seen one in the flesh. Maybe one day when I find it. But it's really nice because it's actually a magnet. And then this is long dead. This has never been opened in 1996. Those batteries are long dead, and they are probably the leakiest leaky that have ever leaked. And there was a tab here to save the batteries, and someone pulled out the paper tab. So, yeah. So people were pushing on this and making noise. So those are probably dead and gone. But yeah, so it attaches magnetically. You don't have to use any pins or anything. And then you just touch it and it makes noises. Yeah, sound effects and the phrase. So there's only one phrase on it, but it does have the authentic communicator sounds, which is really nice. And this one is from TNG, whereas this one is from Voyager. So it also has authentic communicator sound effects and one phrase, bridge here, status report. Again, it is older than a lot of people are today, but still attaches magnetically. Yeah, it's really funny though, because you've got all of this real estate behind you, so it looks like it's a pacemaker. But yeah, so battery replacement takes the dreaded LR44 button. So that's the Voyager one. And here is the Klingon one. And it's really funny because all of the tabs have been taken out. There's that little space right there in the plastic, and all of the tabs were taken out for some reason. I do not know where all of these came from. I'm pretty sure that they were from probably a toy fair where I was just on a tear. So yeah, so activates authentic communicator sound effects and the phrase, yes, what do you want? That's great. But yeah, they have a little bit of a press to them. And yeah, and Starfleet uniform, Klingon badge. Why not? Yeah, someday I hope to find this Bajoran communicator. I'm sure that will be pretty nice. These were not very expensive. Hell, this one's got a tag on it. It says $5. I would assume they were all that way. But yeah, look out. Choking hazard. Don't eat the Klingon badge. So before you say anything, yes, I have too many Picards. So this is the Masterpiece Edition Captain Picard from the Captains series. There were supposed to be the entire line of captains that were to come out of this, including Pike, Kirk, Sisko, and Janeway. I believe they got to Kirk and then stopped. I took this one out of its packaging because the box that it comes in is so absolutely gigantic. It makes no sense to display it that way. It's like a book you open up. And I mean, the presentation's nice, but yeah, this Picard looks really spectacular. I think the uniform, even though it's all one piece, looks like it's separate from the pants. You have your nice split pant here to show off the boot. The feet don't move. The knees do move. And then he's got this Velcro up the back here in case you want to play dress up. Or, in fact, maybe wash this uniform. The pips are very accurate. The stitching on the communicator badge looks really great. The uniform itself is amazing. And his likeness. I mean, look at that. That's Jean-Luc Picard. That is Captain Picard. And he's somehow developed melanoma, the side of that V-shaped chin of his. Look at those eyes. Those eyes are piercing. Whoa. Now this is an unboxed version of Worf from DS9. He actually came in a box like those ones back there that I will show you here pretty soon, but the box was so incredibly damaged by water at some point. The guy was just selling it as is. I think it was $5. Yeah, look at the hair. You can't brush this guy's hair at all. Also Velcro in the back. But yeah, the box was water damaged. The figure itself is in great shape. He looks fantastic. It's a very good likeness of Worf. And these 12-inch figures, like the McCoy one from yesterday, and then I have Sisko back there and Captain Janeway back there that we'll be showing you here in just a moment. But so the box was just waterlogged, and it smelled like someone's basement. Okay, a little bit of an angle change here because I need to get all I can for this giant box of Sisko. So this is Captain Benjamin Sisko, goatee and head shaved with his Starfleet gear. These 12-inch figures, like I said about Worf back there, are just fantastic to look at. And I'm just now realizing that Worf is from Insurrection, because look at his gray shoulders, and then look at Sisko's uniform here. This is the DS9 uniform that Worf had worn, and that is the uniform from the Enterprise, E. We get a little blurb here for Captain Sisko. And the back is the same as the back on every single one of them, but I do love the Deep Space Nine design here on the side of the box. The likeness is very striking. It looks great. So sticking with the long distance theme here, here's Captain Janeway in 12-inch form. This is actually really neat because it says Women of Star Trek, first in a series. And I think the only other person in this Women of Star Trek series was Counselor Deanna Troi. This is one that I picked up at a toy show in Dayton. So she's got a pad back there. She's got a tricorder. She's got her hand phaser. And funny enough, she's got this open hand and a closed hand, whereas everybody else back there has closed fists. I don't know. It's really weird. But, it's just a way to distinguish, I guess. And this is Bun of Steel Janeway. It's not representative of year, 5 Janeway? No, it's Bun of Steel Janeway. Look at that hair. Now, believe it or not, this is not the last Picard on this shelf. It's certainly not the last Picard in my collection, but this is a Playmates figure, another Playmates figure. I believe this is from the Command Line series, and he is dusty. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he Velcros up the back, has decent articulation. The sleeves are Velcroed in. The bottom of the pants are frayed really bad. I think this one's seen better days, and that's probably why it arrived without a box. I can't even remember where I got this guy from. I just wanted to complete my Picard collection, and I know that I don't have all of them. But I do have quite a few of them. His head moves really nice. And you know what? The face looks so much better than that one. And I will say that over and over again. I may bring that one back just so I can show you every Picard that I have and be like, that one's awful. This one's better. Okay, we're down to our last two items. And this is a Diamond Select duo here. This is Riker in his command chair. The next shelf, Tier 3, is going to have him out of this box so I can show you the command chair and all of that goodness. But this is what it looks like in the box, and this is on shelf number 2. Here he is. So, and what's really funny is that they didn't do any other Rikers without the beard. They only did this one in this command chair with the beard. And let's see, what year is this? Diamond Select. Okay, so it is 2007. But yeah, this is representative of season 1. I just love the commander's chair. And the figure is excellent. He looks so cool. For the 20th anniversary. Wow. Too many Picards. Too many Picards. Here he is, chained down. It's the only way you can control his raw animal magnetism is by twist tying him into his chair. But yeah, so there's Jean-Luc Picard pushing the buttons on the captain's chair. That's not a very good representation. The color's a little off. I don't know, it's really weird. But yeah, so here he is celebrating season 1 Picard for the 20th anniversary. And it's pretty much the same kind of box, except, you know, of course, different and a different little blurb down there. And like I said, on Tier 3, these are out of the box, so I'll be able to show you them much clearer. And with that out of the way, let me get my cleaning cloth, and we'll get this dust off.